I have a couple of questions from the audience. So
Mhm.
there is one that is very specific, and it's a question about the FLAN collection listed among the allowed datasets. And the question is whether that might contain some LLM generated text. Is it like, if it's listed, that means it's allowed, or should people like still think about and double check like this synthetic datasets?
Um, so like at least like when I last checked the paper, I didn't get the impression that there was anything that was like generated in there. Like that said, if the person asking the question has like sort of a specific snippet they want to refer to from the paper, we'd be happy to take a look at it on the Discord group and clarify the rules.
Thank you. There's another question that might not necessarily speak to the challenge, but I still want to ask it. So the question is whether there is a general resource on choosing hardware for MLDL LLM model. I think it's probably it's definitely like an area of research. So I don't think you can give a definitive answer here, but you have made a choice of like specific like two GPUs. So if you can give us a bit more motivation behind this choice, that would be helpful.
Wait, do you want to cover
Well,
that? Or
I
I have, I
think
guess, like
that
some thoughts.
we are choosing the two type of GPUs partially is motivated by what's available, and we want to allow both commodity, so that's what's represented by 4090, and some slightly high end, that's A100. Mark, you want to add to that?
Sure, yeah. Like I think conceptually we wanted like if you look at the price of like a brand new 4090, it's like about $1,600, right? And if you can get like something that's like used, like you might find something like even a bit cheaper. And it also has like a dual use. Like you can use it to play video games if you're not like training models. And so we wanted to have something that felt like plausible, like for like a regular person to buy. And I know $1,600 can still be pricey, but it's like still like half of what like let's say like a new like MacBook costs. So it sort of like a reasonable thing and it's something valuable for people to own. Whereas like with the A100 track, like our reasoning there was, hey, like yes, like why not anchor this on a K80 because that's what Google Collab has, or like a T4, like why not a V100? Like why was it an A100, right? And I think the reason why A100 is because like that's where we're seeing like most of the enterprise interest be, because like A100s have like tensor cores available and they're like wicked fast. They're not always like available. You sometimes have to fight for them on cloud providers, but it's like a lot better than H100s. And so because like this is sort of like a hardware architecture that we see significant enterprise interest in, it felt sort of like the right way for the more enterprisey track of the competition, the right hardware to pick.
Awesome. There is another question that I think I can answer. So the question is whether we will be building something ourselves or yourself as the audience as part of this course. And our recommendation is actually for you to participate in this challenge, even if you're not planning to win it and you don't may have time constraints. I think this sets like a good constraint. It gives you like a good evaluation metric. You can exchange experiences with other participants of this challenge. So our recommendation is that you do participate. But if you prefer to opt out of this challenge, like we still encourage you to fine tune an LLM, and that's because that's the topic of this course, and you only learn by doing it. And if you have a specific task, like a personal project that you want to build, that's fine as well for the participation in this course. But my personal experience with this type of challenges, if you participate, you learn much more than by opting out. There
I,
is a question.
I,
Yeah,
I,
go ahead, Mark.
I actually want to comment on this because this is interesting. Like basically, like the Discord group is sort of like a peer group of people that are collectively learning how to fine tune, and like the organizers themselves, like myself and Weiwei included, are extremely interested in like what kinds of tricks like people will do. So like we're sort of taking like almost like a peer review style of like figuring out like what works. Add to that like a real world like Discord eval bot, like I think this could be um quite compelling. And again, like you can learn a lot about the competition. We always encourage you to submit. We realize like sometimes like just starting out might be like a bit overwhelming, which is why we have a really nice like starter kit that like is based off of ListGPT, which should give you a good baseline. So if you just start with that and like tweak like hack together a few things, like change a couple lines, you might still like learn a lot. And then if you feel like you want sort of like if you feel sort of this is not the right approach and you have like some like more significant ideas you'd like to contribute, like, of course, like, I mean, the way our submission infra will work, it's like sort of a very general HTTP service. So you can do whatever you want. But, we really want to make sure that you have a smooth experience to ship that first line of code that will make you feel productive. So if that doesn't feel like the case, please join Discord and complain.
There is another question whether we'll be talking about fine-tuning multimodal LLMs in this course. I think this is definitely not the scope of this efficiency challenge. I don't think you're evaluating on any multimodal data, Mark and Wei. And I don't.
Maybe
I
next
think this,
year.
Yeah, I think this may be a bit out of scope for this course. But I do believe that the skills that you will gain will also transfer into multimodal. That's my personal belief. All right, let me just ask a final question and we'll hand over to Ayush. So there is a question whether we'll talk about how to fine-tune on raw or unstructured or unlabeled data without creating question and response pairs. I interpret that as a kind of domain adaptation, like extending kind of pre-training. I'm not sure if in the course we'll focus specifically on that, but I think like the fine-tuning techniques that we'll use with instruction data sets might just as well be applicable with this like further pre-training. Any thoughts, Mark or Wei, on domain adaptation?
It's definitely one of the standing challenge of machine learning, and I think in general, there's a very few performance guarantee you can get overall, but it all depends on the task and the specific data that you're trying to adapt. And part of like, I guess, in the spirit of getting hands-on experience, it's all about just trying and see what you can get out of it.
Awesome. Wei, Mark, we really appreciate you coming into this event and sharing and also preparing this challenge. We feel like this is making LLMs more accessible to a broader range of people. So that's definitely a good thing. We really appreciate it. And in this next part, we also want to make it even more accessible. So Ayush Thakur has prepared like also our own version of the starter kit, which also includes some really cool experiment tracking. So Ayush, over to you to present and give people some hands-on tips on how to get started with this challenge.